Hey everybody, Scoutcrafty here again, TGIF. A little surprise show today for those of you who are subscribers and have your notifications on and whatnot. We have a little bit of a quick show for you today, and I wanted to share with you a little road trip that I took. As you know, I have a good friend of the show by the name of Rick Centore. He's a author. He was a former Marine in Marine avionics during Vietnam. And Rick, good friend. I meet him up at Zagre Farm Show usually every year. And Rick volunteers his time at the New England Air Museum in Connecticut. It's a beautiful, right by Bradley Airport, beautiful museum. Huge. I think it might be the biggest on the East Coast. They have a tremendous facility there. And Rick volunteers there, and he was able to get us to check out the museum. And I thought I would bring you along because I think you would enjoy it. And I just did a quick one, no voiceover or anything, but show you some of the things that are there, give you a quick view in case you might be in the area and want to check it out. It's such a great place. Let's check it out right now. Now, what a fantastic time we had at the museum. And afterwards, we went back to Rick's house, where Rick's lovely wife, Lynn, prepared us a beautiful lunch. And we just had a fantastic time talking. And Rick also gave me a little bit of a care package to come home and I want to share with. Let me show you what Rick sent over. Now, first up, Rick sent over this nice World's Fair 1964-65 souvenir. And what this was the New York heliport, which is still there today at the Flushing Meadow Park. And this was a tremendous structure, and they used to have helicopters landing and taking off here. What a great structure this is, and what a nice little collectible. I have a collection of World's Fair stuff because a lot of my family used to work there, so very interesting. Next, Rick had this. One of his friends gave it, and they wanted to see what this was. And if you've never seen this before, very interesting. Look at here. It looks like a ruler, and you can see here, it says... the numbers are off from one side to another, number 2710. And if you look here, it says contraction. This is a contraction rule made by Lufkin, and you can see how much they vary by the time you get up, and you can see the amount that'll vary. And what this rule was for mold makers or foundry workers, because every time you would pour metal or make a mold of something, there was shrinkage involved. And depending on the size and what type of metals, things like that, you would use these scales to predict the shrinkage. So that's what it was. It would show how much contraction you would have over a certain length. So obviously, if you went 24 inches, you'd have a 1/4 inch contraction with... this one, 1/120th scale. Here's 1/160th scale. Can you see that? And very interesting how this works. Let me show you why it's not even close to a regular ruler. Here's a regular ruler. You can see we're lined up with the 1 inch, but once we get down to 4, you can see it's actually shorter. So these rules are actually expanded to show you that how much it's going to contract. And it's a special way of using it. I've never used one, but very interesting, and it's a heavy-duty rule, but you have to make sure you know what this is so you don't screw anything up by using this for measurement. Let's see if we can't clean it up, because this type of metal is often a little bit difficult to clean up. This has some pitting, and not much you can do. There's the markings on here. But I'll tell you what works really good on this is the fiber wheel. So let's give a quick shot on the fiber wheel, see what it does. Now, as you know, it's a good idea. Never take anything for granted. Always do a test section. Here you can see we did the one end. You can see we did with the fiber wheel, and the other end we didn't. And here's the back. We did that with the fiber wheel, and you can see we didn't. So it works very well. So let's do the whole rule with the fiber wheel. I'm calling this project done. You can see what we did here. The fiber wheel does a great job. Your hands are tied with a ruler, and I'll tell you why. A few reasons. Number one, when you go with it with the fiber wheel, you got to run the fiber wheel this way. You never take it this way to the fiber wheel, because that'll remove the black in the letters. So you always go this way so the wheel skips over the inside. So because that's like a lamp black or something they used in there. So we kept all the numbers. We got a little bit of a sheen. We got rid of all the dirt, the tarnish. There are some, that's staining, okay? That's carbon steel staining, and the only way to get rid of that is to go under it. But like I said, our hands are tied with a ruler, because if you go under it, you're going to lose some of the markings, so you have to leave it. So this is the best that I could do with this ruler, and it's presentable. It's nice. It's a wall hanger. You see we did the back too. Again, a contraction rule is something I'll probably never use, but it is a very interesting piece, isn't it? Next up, I was absolutely ecstatic over this. Now, Rick does, one of his hobbies is repairing and restoring antique radios. And he has a whole bunch of equipment and things that he restores. And look at this. What a beautiful job he did on this. Look at that. Have you ever seen anything like this? This is a DC meter. And you can see it's got two scales here. It's got a 20-volt scale, a 10-volt scale, and here's positive. And you can see here, each line equals half a volt. Look at the beautiful lettering on here. Battery. What do you say we try this out to see if it works? And there's a little hook that you can hang it on. Never seen anything like this before. It's just beautiful. Let's try it out, see if it works. Let's get something that gives us DC voltage. Okay, I'm trying not to get this washed out with, because we get a lot of backlighting and that's flat glass. But you can see I hooked up one lead. We have it at just 3.05 volts. I'm going to touch it to the 10 volt port here. And you can see, what do we have there? Exactly 3 volts. So it's very accurate. Let's pick it up a little bit. Let's get it to... let's get it right about 8.35 volts. Let's touch it now. There we go. 8, just a hair over 8. Isn't that fantastic? So it's extremely accurate. God only knows how old this meter is. Still works like the day it was made. I love vintage meters of any type, and this with the little hook on it, God only knows where this came. Have you ever seen anything like this before? Last up, Rick was nice enough to give me 2 signed copies of the books that he wrote. And this one here I saw on Amazon, but I didn't see this one. This is a new book that he just came out with. And look at that. Look at a young Rick here in Vietnam. And look at some of the pictures here in the middle. And I didn't even know, has a picture in here of Rick receiving the Air Medal. So how great is that, huh? All these pictures of back in the day in Vietnam. What a fantastic, I can't wait to get to this book. Awesome. Okay, so in closing, tomorrow is Zagreb Farm Museum in Colchester, Connecticut. And if it doesn't rain, I should be there, hopefully. And hopefully Rick will be there too. Again, if it doesn't rain. A special thanks going out to Rick and his lovely wife, Lynn, for hosting us today. We had a great time. And a great time at the museum, and thanks for the great stuff. And hope you a quick little video, just a little one out there. And hopefully Monday, we might have another one if we do go to Zagreb. If not, it's regular on Wednesday. Hope you have a great weekend. Take care now. Bye-bye.